Hey gang, this is Siobhan with SLK Services, and today I am back with another video. If this is your first time here, go ahead and check out some of my other videos that I share with you guys. And today this one is going to be a little bit different because I want to talk to you guys about how to start a business. There are several different businesses that you can start, whether it be a home-based business, whether it be a brick and mortar business, but I'm going to basically talk to you about home-based businesses and maybe give you a few pointers on brick and mortar, but just to jump into it, I'm just going to go ahead and start sharing with you guys. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave your comments down below for the ones that I can answer. Keep in mind this video is for educational purposes only. Please do your due diligence and your own research when it comes to starting a business. So I want to talk to you guys about how you can get started in business. And the first thing I want to talk about is brainstorming. So you have to ask yourself, do you want to start with upfront costs or no startup costs at all? And there are businesses you can actually start where you don't have to have any money at all, or businesses that you can start where you have to have a small amount, or businesses that you can start where you have to invest a lot of money. Now, there are several different businesses that I stated you can start with no money at all. Give you an example, like those that start in the influencer space, they don't necessarily have to have money to get started. Like if you start a YouTube channel, you basically just have to have a computer. If you already have a computer, there's really no money that you have to spend at all. And then you can also use your phone for your camera, which you've already spent that money because you're using your personal cell phone. So you don't have to necessarily go out and spend money to start a business. There are also like MLM opportunities, direct sales opportunities, where some of those businesses start off with basically zero, where you don't have to pay anything at all and you just get started, put in your social, and then just get started from there. And basically, if you sell over a certain amount, then you get a 1099 and you file that on your taxes. Okay, so first you need to brainstorm. So do you want to pay any money? Do you not want to pay any money to get started? And I'll tell you about the first business that I started was SLK Services. And how I got started, I was working for a company. It was during the time where the economic downturn in 2008, I found myself in the unemployment line, and I ended up getting money from my unemployment, invested it into starting a business. I invested about $500, and that's how I got started. And SOK Services is basically administrative service business, or basically a call center business. And if you guys want to know more, I will be doing a video to talk to you guys about how you can start a call center and how you can get clients. So that is how I got started. And then later on, I eventually started in some other opportunities just to check them out to see how they operated. And I ended up going back to SLK Services, which is why I'm sharing the information on how to start a business. And I'll be sharing some other videos as well. So the next thing is you need a plan. When you start a business, you do need a plan, whether it's a home-based business or whether it's a brick and mortar business. Now, when I initially started, I did not have a plan. I knew what I was going to do because someone told me about the business, and I had some friends that helped me to set up a business. And then after that, I just jumped head in, and it didn't go so well in the beginning because I was still trying to figure out if it was something that I wanted to do. And even over the years, I've gone back and forth, but now I am back in my business and I've been consistent with it. I just want to say that it may take you some time to figure out, hey, is this something that I really want to do? And you may have to try a few things to figure out if it's for you or if it's not for you, because working from home or having a home-based business is not for everyone. Some people just want to go to work a 9 to 5, make their income, and then go home. So there's nothing wrong with that. So don't feel like you just have to have a business. Don't feel like you have to have a side hustle. You might just want to, do something in your free time just to make a little bit of extra cash. It just depends on you. So don't ever feel like you have to start a home-based business. But again, if you do have a plan, because initially I didn't have a plan, so now I can tell other people, just have a plan for your business. Okay? So the next thing I want to talk to you guys about, which I'll discuss in another video, are the risk and versus the rewards of having a home-based business and working from home. But I will tell you, one of the major adjustments that you have to make, especially if you have family, you have to have a cutoff time for when you're going to work, and you also have to get them to understand that it's still a job. You still have to go to work. You still have to sign in, and things like that. And you still have to have a schedule for your business and when you're going to operate your business. Otherwise, the lines start to get blurred. That is one of the risks that I would say, but the reward is is getting finished and doing the things that you need to do on a daily basis. So that would be the reward that I would have to say, and just finding the fulfillment in what you're doing. So the last thing I want to talk to you guys about are the steps to starting a business. Now, there are several different steps you can start a business, and I'll kind of elaborate on this a little bit more than I did on the previous section. So steps to starting a business they're basically simple when it comes to from home space. As I stated to you before, what you want to do is brainstorm. Figure out what type of business you want to start. Do you want to start an MLM? Do you want to start a direct sales? Or do you want a business that you actually create from scratch and you do on your own? So MLM and direct sales, I've tried both, and I will say that they didn't work well for me. So what I had to do was carve out something that worked best for me. And again, I ended up coming back to my business, which was the customer service business, because it's something that I enjoy doing. The other thing is you want to register for a tax ID. Now, with the MLM, direct sales, YouTube, or like the social media platform businesses where you don't necessarily have to have a tax ID. You can put in your social, but the best thing to do is have a tax ID, so that way you're not putting your information all over the putting your social all over the place. And basically with that, if you're going to get a tax ID, you want to register with the IRS to get an EIN, and the website you would go to is www.irs.gov. The other thing is the type of business. Now, there are different types of entities. There's the sole proprietor, there is the LLC, there's a corporation, there's a partnership, and those are different things that you can choose to do. Now, a sole proprietor, a lot of people use their social, but again, you can go in and create an EIN for a sole proprietor. That's just basically saying that you're the only one that's going to work, and it's based on under, there are different guidelines, so you can go look it up. Also, you want to register with your state or local governing body, depending on the type of business, and those are usually like your LLCs, your corporations, and your partnerships. So, and what I mean by your state is that your state has a website where you have to register for your business license, and then there's a local entity within the county or city that you're in, where you're located. And I found out as a call center, I did not have to register with my local state. I'm sorry, my local city governing body. Initially, I did, but later on, I decided to let that go because I ended up not selling products, which is something that I had planned on doing attached to my business. So another thing that I want to mention, just moving on, is the sales tax ID. If you're planning on selling a product, then you want to go out there and get a sales tax ID, and that can be found at one of your state websites, which you would just have to go and do the research for. Another thing you want to do is build a website, get business cards, build social media presence, and things like that. You don't necessarily need a website in all cases, because some people will use just their social media platforms to gain clients, and some of them will use, business cards to gain clients, but you don't necessarily need a website. But it is always good to have, that way people can go back and reference. You can share a little bit about yourself and things like that. Okay? The last thing I want to mention is that you want to build a network. You want to build a network of people, network of, say, clients, and a network of individuals that you actually can communicate back and forth with. One of the things I found when it comes to working from home, sometimes it does get a little boring, and sometimes it does get a little lonely. So if you have people that you can bounce ideas off of, or people that you can communicate with, that is always a good thing, especially those that are in business, those that are in similar businesses, and then those that are in other businesses. But the one thing thing you don't want to do is try to jump on every opportunity that is out there, which is something, again, that I did test and trials on, is just checking out other businesses. I realized what worked for other people did not work for me. So that's something that you have to consider. Figure out what works for you. Figure out, what's going to be the best opportunity for you. Again, as I mentioned, you can do brick and mortar, but it's gonna cost you more money for brick and mortar than it would for just a home-based business where your costs would be a lot lower. So that's what I wanted to take the time out to share with you guys, is basically how to start a business, and those are just the basic general steps. But again, you can go research, find out your own information. If you have any questions that I can't answer, I will answer, but if it's something that you need to research, I'll definitely let you know. But until next time, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.